today I'm going to show you how to make a ear loop mask. This is my design that I've adapted from other patterns. It's got a nose wire in it and adjustable ear loops, and I'll take you through the steps so that you can see how to make it. So for your upper layer, you want to cut 2 of a polyester cotton blend. So it's got that little bit of water resistance. So that's the 2 layers of poly cotton blend together. Then for the inner, you want either a non-iron interfacing. This one's called Trace and Toil. You can see it's a bit like filter fabric, or it's even the fabric that's on your mattress and pillow protectors called polypropylene. So you want 2 of those cut, and then for your inner you want 2 of a cotton. Poplin is better, so poplin comes in cotton, 100% cotton or poly cotton, so it'd be good to get poplin for both sides, but cotton for the inner. It's a smaller weave, so it doesn't let particles through. And then you want some one option is cord elastic, and it's around about 25 centimeters knotted, but I make mine adjustable so that you can because I sell them and everyone's faces are different. So first you want to put together, it doesn't matter which side, I tend to do it with a thinner fabric. You want to put your inner filter fabric on either side of your outer layer with right sides facing, and you know, feel free to use pins. So you're just going to stitch around approximately just around about 1 centimetre, under 1 centimetre. There's that one. So that's just putting the 2 together instead of doing your 3 layers separate. Then get your cotton layer, do the same thing. And now you've got those sewn together. Turn one inside out. I always turn the one with the filter fabric so it's a little bit stiffer. So you're going to turn that one in the right way. And then holding on to your nose end, you're going to put the 2 noses together. Pin this around, just starting with your 2 seams together to get it nice and neat. If you're going to do a nose wire, this seam at the top here, I make sure that both raw edges go one way, so when you're threading your wire in, it's easier to thread through than trying to get through the raw edges. Just maneuvering. Sometimes you've got to maneuver the inner fabric, depending on the fabric, in so that it sits in nicely together. So then you're going to sew with the same seam allowance. On both sides. Your pattern pieces might not all, fabric pieces might not all fit together 100%. That's fine. Just making sure you're getting all the fabric. This is one of the easier masks. So you've got that, and you're just going to put your hand between the fabric layers, turn it in the right way. And then if you just hold on to that middle seam there and give it just a gentle pull, don't pull it too tight, you'll break your stitches. So if you're going to put a nose wire into this one, you want to get that nice and flat. So I've actually got a little marker here for my nose wire. I think it's about 6.5 centimeters each side of the seam, and I mark it with a pin each side. So this is where you're going to make your nose wire casing. You can do any sort of stitching here. I just tend to go backwards and forwards, but you could do like a buttonhole. So that's one end. Noisy Janome. And then stitch along. So approximately again, maybe just over a centimetre, depending on the wire you've got. I'll show you what I've got in a second. So because I closed that end, this end I'm going to leave open to put the wire in. This is the point that you're going to put your wire in. Now, aluminium wire is good. Armature wire is made of aluminium, so it will be fine to go in the washing machine. But mine was a little bit thin, so I actually have 2 bits of aluminium wire, and I've used what's called heat shrink around it. So it's from electrical stores, Bunnings has it. And I cut it just a little bit longer so that any raw edges of the wire is not going to poke through and poke into people's eyes or faces. So you're going to insert that in. Hopefully you've allowed the raw edges to let you through, like I was saying. Nose wire in, so then you're just going to end off where you left it open. Do a fair bit of stitching there because you don't want your wire to start poking through your stitches. So there's that part of it, and then, you know, when you're wearing it you can mold it to your nose. And then I do a pretty simple thing here. If you can try using the hair ties if you want. I would advise to extend the pattern a little bit on the sides if that's what you want to do, but I just use the 25 centimeters like I said, and I turn back approximately a centimeter of the raw edge in. And you might want to do pins here, but I've made quite a few, so I don't need to. But you're going to position that in so your needle's not going to catch the elastic. And at the bottom I come in and leave just under a centimetre so that if people want to pull that knot out, they can pull it out and make their loops a bit smaller. So I just come in about 3 mil backwards and forwards, so you're ending it off straight along and then coming back out to the edge again. Same again. Then the other end. This is quite a simple one, and even simpler if you're not going to do the nose wire. Can be a little bit fiddly.
Same thing I did on the other end, making sure that the elastic.
And then just to finish it off, I run a line of stitching just on that bottom one, and once again making sure I'm not catching that elastic, just to hold that nice, that seam nice and flat. Also gives it extra durability, seeing it's going to be worn and washed daily. There you go. It's not the most perfect one, but that's your ear loop, or as I named it, Cavalier ear mask. I'll attach a link to my patterns through Dropbox, which you can use. It's a really good firm fitting design that sits up against your face, and it's quite comfortable. You can also do soft ear loops on the end if you like. One of the fabrics I use is just use approximately 15 centimeters by 3 centimeters of ITY jersey. It's like a stretch jersey or lycra, and just roll that 15 centimeters into a tube. You don't have to sew it, and then I literally just stitch each end in so that it's a nice soft ear closure. So there you go.